Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys again, sharing another Devo for our Christmas season. We're going to be in Luke 2 today, looking at verses 5 through 7 specifically. So, a little pretext for this. The beginning of Luke 2 talks about how the decree went out that a census has to be taken, everyone has to return back to their hometown. So Joseph left Nazareth and headed to Bethlehem, which, the towns have been talked about and covered a bit here and there. But then in verse 5, it says, he took with him Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was now expecting a child. And while they were there, the time came for her baby to be born. She gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him snugly in strips of cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no lodging available for them. So we all know that this is talking about Jesus. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We're very familiar with this story. We hear it every year at Christmas. Well, most of us do. I don't know what your traditions are, but I would assume that you guys are familiar with this story. So we know that this is referring to Jesus. What's interesting to me, though, is we all know that Jesus is the Messiah, came to save us from our sins, so on and so forth. The Jews, when they were speaking on the Messiah, when they expected the Messiah, they expected a warrior, a political, someone that was going to kick the Romans out of their land, set up a kingdom, it was going to be an important person. But instead, what did they get? A baby. Not just a baby, but a baby that was born in a food trough. Think about that. Jesus, who, as we know, is the Messiah, was born vulnerable. He was born in a food trough. There wasn't even room in the inn for them. There was nothing that would have signified, hey, this is an important person in terms of his birth. Everything would have pointed to, oh, it's just some kid. But God has a way of circumventing expectations, don't you think? Just like here, where the Jews were expecting a mighty political king, ruler, whatever, and they get a baby. In our lives, God is saying, we expect Jesus to show up in our lives in a specific way, and a lot of times we miss what God planned for us, how God wanted Jesus to reveal himself to us. We miss those things because we're so focused on our expectations, on what we want to happen, what we think should happen, that a lot of times we miss what God's actually doing, just like the ancient Jews missed Jesus being the Messiah because they were so focused on this political ruler, this king, this activist, what they expected it to be, that they missed out on what it was. So I just want to encourage you this holiday season, check your expectations. And I know that might sound harsh, and maybe you're well, I don't have any expectations, but we all got them, whether we're aware of them or not. Just be open to allowing Jesus to reveal himself to you how he wants instead of how you think he should. I hope you have a blessed holiday season, a good Christmas, and just have a good time with your family.